Hello and welcome back to the Painscreek Killing. It's a murder, horror, mystery game thing. We're still inside this hospital, trying to uncover its secrets. Got a staircase going down. Okay, there's nothing there. Yeah, it's fairly clean. Did we explore all of... I don't know how well this map's going to help me out, but... Like, we got a staircase that goes further up. I have no sign of stupid, sexy zombie nurses yet. Oh yeah, we haven't gone this way yet, have we? Also keeping an eye on which doors might have locks on them in the event that's the key to it. Wait a minute. Have we been here? Yeah, we have. This was where the elevator was. There's only one staircase going further up. And it was this way by the bathrooms. So if there was a fire and you had to use a staircase from like the top floor, you'd be like, well, I guess this staircase would go all the way down, but that staircase wouldn't let you go up. What the heck is with this slanted... Oh, we're on the roof. What the fuck? Why is there a armoire just floating? I think I found another bug. I don't think this belongs here. You can trust me, I'm a professional gamer. High voltage. A broken ledge, someone could fall and die. Someone could fall and die, that's why we saw a chalk outline down there. So obviously someone fell from up here and then they saw the body and decided to outline it with chalk because that would be somehow funnier. I don't know. Okay, so we are missing a detail here. Unless this key isn't to the patient's... Oh! Fuck, why did I look at the back of the tag? I thought this was going to be the patient's room, Wanda Tyler. But it's not, it's probably your house key. 43 Silver Lake. Right now we can't go to the basement. And we can't open that one key card slot that we have the key card for. I suspect we need to be able to get to the basement to get like the power generator going or something. That'll then allow us to use wherever that key card thing was. At the moment we cannot, so I think we shall go to Wanda's house and see what cool shenanigans we may find. Interesting, like the game has an interesting flow to it. Feels like I'm doing practically nothing, but I'm enjoying it almost every step of the way, which is pretty cool. I've been playing a lot of games lately that have actually been fun instead of their like lot of misery and pain and suffering. So we shall... Wanda has lingerie, maybe, but she's got cancer, or no, I forgot who had the cancer now. Let's see, wait, what was the address again? It was 43 Silver Lake. The hell? Oh, okay, I was like, where's my map? So, Painscreek, right now we are coming out of here. Silver Lake is there, so I gotta come back out that way to where the thingamajig is. Yeah. The town itself is fairly big from the looks of it. Not that way. I think we can actually cut through the town center, as we saw. And the town is deserted, basically. It's population none. I think if we go through here, I think that's Silver Lake right there. Yep, Silver Lake. So 43. What number are we at here? We're at 20, 25. So it's either this way or the other way, but 26. So we just keep going this way until we find 43. Do you want to leave Painscreek now? The game will proceed to the ending. No. Okay, so apparently this is an exit. I don't want to do that. It did that in the beginning of the game too when we tried to go the other direction. I don't know what actually happens, so going that way can apparently end the game. I thought it was going to keep the numbers going up, but this is the way to the mansion, apparently. We don't want to go there necessarily yet. What's back here? Oh, there might be 31. 30, that's not 32. The layout's really weird. Very incompatible with my sense or lack of navigational skills. Got some people's dirty laundry. Luckily that's not a lot. 39, 34. Oh, those are my footsteps. I'm like, what the fuck? I just heard footsteps. 41, 43. Hopefully we're on the right street. Booyah. We got this shit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We have invaded Wanda's home. Hey, more of that Adios off-brand Cheerio. It's not even like the Honey Nut Cheerios. Like, that's the one that's like, you taste it and it's like, it's kind of bitter and sour and yeah. Lower. Thought I heard footsteps. Nothing here. Is Wanda a patient, or was she one of the nurses? I do not remember. Actually, I could find out because we took a picture of those lockers. Maureen, Lisa, Susan. Okay, so no. She was probably one of the patients. Then in that case, check the books, nothing, nothing. Oh, no, that's nothing. So this is Wanda's bathroom. This is where she got naked all the time. Hopefully she's kind of cute and not ugly or something. She's got the detachable shower head for maximum fapping options. Guessing she may have been an appreciator of art and VHS and electric fans. Hobbies include electric fans and watching TV. Not seeing much of anything. Hopefully there's something upstairs. out with your pants down, ma'am? She's been spying on her neighbors with this telescope. She'd probably be like, I'm an astrophysicist and I'm looking at the sky. No, you're not. You're just watching people getting naked in the shower. I was born yesterday. So this is Friday, January 1990. We went cycling today. Scott said he can ride faster than me. Of course, that isn't true. So we had a competition, and Tricia was our referee. We set the goal line to be the fence in front of the river. I was winning until we almost reached the finishing line. I braked to prevent myself from crashing into the fence. Maybe you shouldn't have made the fence the finishing line. But Scott didn't brake. He pedaled harder as he approached the goal. I yelled at him to stop, but he did not listen. By the time we crossed the line, it was too late. The brakes did not stop him in time. His bike hit the fence, and he was launched into the air, landing on the rocks by the river bank. Wait a minute, Scott. Wasn't he the one that was drowned? I ran to him. There was blood coming from his head, scratches all over his arms and legs. Tricia came up to him and tended to his wounds. She seemed to be sobbing, even though Scott was the one bleeding. I think I'm hurting more than him. So they kind of set themselves up to fail, to be honest. The finishing line is going to be that wall. So like when you face plant into it, you win. While cleaning the garage, Charles approached and asked if I would like to be his chauffeur. He said his current driver wants to spend more time with his grandchildren and is planning to retire. I have by the end of this week to decide. It's a good opportunity. I'd get a raise in salary and I get to travel around the country. I think I'll say yes. If I remember correctly, I guess Wanda was the chauffeur of the people in the mansion. Like there was a lot of names of different things and I couldn't remember any of it. Tricia came today and suggested we make our very own time capsule before I start my new job. I thought it was a good idea. We buried the box near a big stone in the cemetery. We don't have a shovel yet, but now we know where it might be. Before leaving, we made a promise to each other that we will open it up in 10 years. I had a chance to walk around New York today. As I went into the bookstore, I remembered how much Tricia loved notebooks. Tricia loves notebooks. That's a thing. You guys love notebooks, right? Don't you love notebooks? I love notebooks. Everybody. There was one that was really cute. It was a bit expensive, but I think she will like it. I should surprise her by giving her the notebook on her birthday. I didn't expect to be traveling as much as a driver. On one hand, I miss my mom. On the other hand, I get to stay in nice hotels. I guess it's not a bad deal. Charles treats me very well. He even gives me extra allowances on these trips. Maybe I'll get something nice for Mom next time. We went hunting near the river. According to Scott, there's a nest in the drain hole that sometimes has eggs. I told him it might be dangerous, but he assured us that it's fine. So off we went. Sure enough, there were eggs. I didn't know what eggs those were and decided to stay a little further away. Scott started collecting them when I noticed something moving. Yeah, Tricia was able to shout out that it was a snake. I stood there, frozen, not knowing what to do. Scott turned and saw the snake. He then spread his arms out and slowly walked backwards. Tricia was behind him. He extended his right hand with a stick toward the snake and slowly placed the bag of eggs on the floor with his left hand. When he reached me, he grabbed my arm and said, "Run." We all ran, screaming our lungs out. I think that was the fastest I ever ran in my life. Yeah. Mama don't like it when you mess with her eggs, I can tell you that. I miss the old days when it was Tricia, Scott, and myself hunting in the back of the woods, playing by the lake. It's not that I don't appreciate what Charles has given to us, such as the house we live in and our jobs. I just miss the time when we were young and carefree. We would go anywhere and nothing would stop us. I miss Tricia. And then on the final page we got, why doesn't she realize that I like her? Maybe because you didn't say anything. Just because you pull on someone's hair doesn't mean that they're getting the message. Dear Father, how's everything going? That's as far as that letter ever got. So we've got a hint as to the location of that time capsule. We did have a hint from the inn about a shovel and a toolbox at the photo hut place. We don't have a key to there, and I forgot what it is. We need, like, who it was that it said. Derek T. Can I take this? No. This must be like their hunting knife. So we've got a few bits of information, although we don't have all the puzzles to, not the pieces to the puzzle as far as where to obtain what we need. May 3rd, 1974. Derek turned 4 today. Vivian organized a small party for him. I really appreciate what she has done for us. After blowing out the birthday candles, I asked him what he wished for. He said, I wish to see Papa. I did not what to say to him. You did not what to say to him, apparently. I could not tell him that his father left us. Vivian is being hospitalized for mental instability. Vivian, I think, was the one that was murdered, wasn't it? Dorothy has asked for me to care for Vivian while she remains at the hospital. I wonder how Vivian must be feeling right now, knowing that she might not be able to conceive anymore. Magdalene wants a boy to continue the family line. Not being able to have children anymore will be devastating for Vivian. I pity her. I pity the fool who can't have kids. Personally, I think it's a blessing, but yeah, I just can't stand Sophia. She's not that pretty. She's barely a year working here, and others are already serving her hand and foot. She's here to take advantage of the Roberts family. I don't trust her. I wish she'd just disappear. So she don't like Sophia very much, does she? There's nothing in... Oh, wait. There's a little name tag. Thank you, Wanda... something. Try not to beat your kids with this purse. It's very heavy. It will get you arrested as assault, child abuse, etc. It's broken. I need a tool to fix this. Okay, so... That's kind of silly. I mean, literally, you would just be able to rip that open just fine. So if we have a tool, we will later be able to come in here. I will do this. We'll take a photo so that I remember that there's something left undone once I have a tool. And I'm willing to bet you it relates to that toolkit / shovel that we know about, but don't have access to yet. I would really like to know how to get that key, because that would also open up, like it might be not just for that, but also the whole time capsule thing. So I think we've got all we can get from here right now. Now we need to figure out where we want to go. I don't know. Let's see, what are we still have the hospital key thing, but we don't have power in the hospital at the moment. A ghost turned it off. Let's do this. Where is that inn? I think we're here somewhere, because I really want to get into that photography thing, and I don't know how. I would like to see if we happen to know enough names that we might know where that person is. But I don't remember their name, and in order to find out, we need to go back to the inn and listen to that, the fax machine or answering machine or whatever the hell it was. There's also a hint that if we had like one of those Slim Jims, we can snap into a Slim Jim and break into cars and stuff. Crap, I'm lost. Clover Street. Okay, yeah, we need to go this way. I'm trying not to just recklessly run around like random because I got a feeling that it will not give us a lot of progress. So we're trying to deduce our way around a little bit. In other words, acting based on a premise. We're going here for a reason, not because we're just clicking on every single thing we can. So this is...
Hi, this is Oliver Gibson. I just wanted to thank you for letting me borrow your toolbox and shovel. I'm currently out of town for a few days, and I didn't get the chance to return it yet. In the case you need them, it's currently sitting in my photo lab.
Yes.
Ask Mrs. Patterson for my spare key.
Okay, Patterson is the one that has the key. Who the fuck is Patterson? I'm gonna see if any of the photos we've taken, like medical records or anything, mentions a Patterson. None in here. Andrew Reed. Wanda, nope. Here, it'll be easier if I... Wanda Tyler, Raymond Brown, Kyle Thompson, Ramsey, Andrew Reed, Marlon Fox, Jeff Schneider, Kyle Thompson. What was that? Henry Johnson. That's the doctor, I think. Raymond Brown, Wanda. Okay, so we don't really know who the fuck Patterson is. We also don't have access to those. In fact, I don't even know what the hell to do now. Now that I think about it, because... But now I'm not I'm gonna remember that name, Patterson. If we had access to the post office, maybe that would also help, but I don't know how we do that. But because it's marked on the map the way it is, I suspect it's a place that we will gain access to. I should also double check the journals, because it's possible someone... Daniel... Like, we only have the name Patterson, we don't know... Tyler... James Howard... Yeah, okay, so we don't have anything to go off of right now. I just hope it's not like some stupid thing we're missing. Is that him? Looks handsome? I don't know. So, until then, we don't have access to the photography. It didn't seem like there was access to the post service. We were in the hospital. There's still more to be done there, probably. We couldn't enter the church. Question now is... Can we enter the mansion? Maybe. If not, then we're gonna have a bad time. Because it's like we know a couple things now, but it's kind of got the Metroidvania thing where it's like you can only go that way once you've obtained this double jump ability or this climbing ability or something along those lines. It's possible maybe some of these signs might also list their name or something. But... So I guess if we just keep going up this way, and that's Walnut Drive, I think that way is to the mansion. Kind of wish it was nighttime instead of daytime out here. Like, the daytime kind of ruins it. It would be nice if it was at least evening. You know, the sun could be partially down or something instead of being so like, hey, look, flowers and ponies and rainbows and stuff. And mansion's that way. What's over here? Oh, let's go this way. I just hope it's not locked. I also can consult a guide if I get stuck to get some hints. If we get to the point where it's like we've run out of clues. There won't be no rage quitting in this one, damn it. So this is the mansion. Which from the patch notes I recall reading was the least optimized place in the game. See, is there access directly in, or should we explore outside first? Let's find out first. Okay, so there is an entrance and it is openable. The change in footsteps really messes with me. Looks like a pretty big ass fucking mansion, that's for sure. Multiple entrances in, yes there is. Kind of exploring the outside before I explore the inside. Like, what is this? We don't know, but it's locked, so now we know there's a door with a key back there. Got some pallets and a shed with a combination lock. Got tool shed or something. I see a barbecue grill. Ooh, and a notebook. That's a suspicious box. Why is there a box right there? And again, it's like, why was there an armoire on top of the roof floating in the hospital? Like, it may not have a reason. It may have just been an accident. Or a bug, rather. This would be a garage. Kind of not the most fun terrain to drive around in, though, I imagine. It'd be a lot of work just to get your car over there, and then all these weird, tight, sharp corners and stuff to drive away through. I wouldn't want to be a chauffeur just because of the increased risk of how many times going back and forth. Sooner or later I'm gonna like nick the edge of that fucking, concrete or something. And okay, yet another entrance in. Okay, this is okay, the garage itself is locked. So I'm establishing kind of what are we, like, what does the perimeter look like? This leads up here, okay. Now let's go inside and see what's up. Let's have a look-see. Now that we've opened like every door to the... That was a really loud fucking door creak. Nothing important. Vivian Roberts, the people in the state of Newland awards. What is it for? Influential citizen. That took me more effort to read than it should have. Start pixel hunting, I guess. They have terrible taste in art. To be expected. Who the fuck designed this shit? Look at that. That's an accident waiting to happen. And it's locked. I don't see a keyholes. This place is pretty big. This is 1995. Dr. Henry Johnson found drowned in vehicle at bottom of Cherry Creek Lake. Body submerged in water for as long as 15 days. I bet that smells lovely. Ooh. By Elizabeth Hudson, a burgundy car was found at the bottom of Cherry Creek Lake. Are you sure it wasn't Toluca Lake? Sorry. Cherry Creek Lake. At the bottom of Cherry Creek Lake yesterday afternoon. A swimmer who chose to remain anonymous said he was diving in the lake when he saw what appeared to be a red car glittering at the bottom of the lake. He swam towards the vehicle and was shocked to see a body in the driver's seat. He quickly called the police. Yeah, I bet you should take a shower or something too, because it's like, stagnant water and corpses rotting in them. Yeah, bad. 3 hours later, the vehicle was pulled out of the lake and the body was identified as Dr. Henry Johnson. And Dr. Henry Johnson was like the main doctor at this hospital. This is when I was like prescribing all those patients medications, etc. Based on the police report, the body has been in the water between 10 and 15 days. Painscreek Community Hospital confirmed that Dr. Johnson last checked in on June 28, 1995. The hospital staff assumed he had left Painscreek for business purposes, which Dr. Johnson was known to do rather privately. No missing person report. So the doctor died by drowning in his vehicle. Interesting. Sure is a lot of people dying in this town. Jackson and Lewis, is this a law firm? Dear Mrs. Roberts, on behalf of Jackson and Lewis, we would like to thank you for appointing us to be Painscreek Community Hospital's medical provider. Oh, okay. With your husband, Mr. Charles Roberts, running for mayor, some might consider the partnership solely to be for the benefit of his status. On the contrary, it also greatly benefits us, as your supporting funds allow us to continue our research and assisting our elderly patients. Details of the contract will be sent over shortly. Please go through the papers, have them signed, and returned to us by the end of the week. Fantastic. Nothing. Yeah. This must be the Roberts family. Looks photoshopped, like airbrushed to perfection kind of thing. And I don't remember who the hell is who. Like, maybe it might be useful for me to look at. I think it was one of the original newspapers, wasn't it? It was somewhere in the PD that we saw a... Yeah, here we go. This one, this diary. There's Vivian Roberts, whose funeral was held. That was the girl that was murdered. Bernard, the butler. Dorothy, the head servant. Derek, the chauffeur. I thought it was... What's her face now? And his mom, Wanda, was fighting cancer. Vivian's husband, Charles, blah, blah, blah. Came with their daughter, Tricia. Yeah, like, all these names are just too much... Like, too much for me to keep track of. Like, I need like a flow chart. Got an ass paddler right there. That's a lot of flour now. Wait, Clorex? That doesn't sound like a safe brand of flour. Like, I mean, I know that like, white flour is bleached, but I mean, come on. You want to be subtle about it for marketing purposes. Anyone delivering food to church on Saturdays, please lock all the doors and return the key under the flower pot before leaving. Ooh. This is a hint on how to get into the church. Okay, so somewhere there's a flower pot. A flower pot before leaving. Before leaving where? Before leaving the church? Is there a flower pot at the church? Or is it someone's taking food from here, delivering it to the church, coming back, and then leaving the key under a flower pot. That doesn't sound right, so... Well, either way, keep your eyes peeled for flower pots, guys. Oh. A mansion room key. I will take that. Oh boy, man, my voice is just so dying, though. It's a shopping list for Trisha's birthday. Balloons, candles, table sheets, baking powder, eggs, strawberries. Thanks. That's very useful. Fantastic use of my time reading that note. Cookingware, cups, etc. Nothing else here, but that's going to be useful information. Now we know to keep our eyes open for flower pots. Flower pots, oh yeah, fucking flower pots. Chemicals. Boom, boom, boom. 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 Yeah, I don't like that weird wailing sound that turning lights on apparently has. I was watching John Wolfe on YouTube playing through, it was some kind of old, like years ago, point and click horror game that had like this really high pitched wailing noise. Like he was even commenting about it. And it was like questioned whether it's even like one of those noises that like only young people can hear. If you guys remember the little trend of mosquito, what was it? Like a ringtone, a mosquito ringtone is what I think it was called. Where kids were more sensitive and likely to be able to hear it. It's just like a really high pitched sound that adults usually can't hear. Okay, so we got staircases going up to creepy, awesome darkness. We're gonna continue in the ground floor first. This must be the mansion's art gallery. Oh boy, more notes. This is 1993. Brown noise supposed to make you shit yourself. Nope, it's not. Brown noise is just like pink noise and white noise. It's just a different series of octaves that it does it. When it comes to noise, though, pink noise is the best. Sorry, this is not. We went hunting this afternoon. Scott's quite a fast learner and has good manners, too. I told him to call me Charles, but he kept singing... But he kept saying it's more appropriate to call me Mr. Roberts. He always got the deer on his second try. If he keeps this up, I'll take him over Bernard as my hunting partner. Okay, so this is in relation to them hunting. Trisha's been rather obvious in her interests. She's a good-looking young man. He's a good-looking young man, and I didn't even realize Trisha was a guy. Oops. And respectful to others. I don't mind his status. There's nothing wrong with being an orphan. If there is, it's the parents' fault. I know that Trisha fancies him. Or... Oh, no, wait. Pink noise isn't queef? No. Pink noise is in pink noise. Noise. It's this static. If you see like TV noise static, that's white noise usually. Pink noise does it differently. And there's also brown noise. There's even websites that have like flash apps and stuff to generate like white noise generators, pink noise, etc. So wait, it's this note on the right. Trisha's been rather obvious in her interests, so Trisha is a girl. And now he's talking about some boy that she must be interested in. And then that's why that's that. I know that Trisha fancies him. I've grown to like him too. Yeah, because it's just noise generation. People use them for a lot of purposes, whether it's calibrating sound levels on like your sound system, or if you're trying to drown out and cancel noise out. Like if you have a white noise generator, it helps block out sounds, and our brains are good at tuning out the consistency of the noise. So if you ever heard the term like a noise generator or noise canceling generator, that's what we're talking. That's like white noise. I used it during polyphasic sleep as well. Pink noise in my earphones. Pink noise was my favorite. Today is Mom's death anniversary. It's been 18 years since she passed away. I paid my respects at her tombstone. Vivian wasn't feeling well and chose not to come, so I asked Scott to accompany me. He brought fresh lilies. He said lilies suggest that the soul of the deceased has returned to a peaceful state. Sometimes I feel he's like a son to me. Now that I think about it, Vivian is always getting sick during this time of the year. I knew our relationship would not be as close as we had it, but ever since Vivian discovered my affair, she hasn't been the same. She once joked to her friends during a dinner that all politicians are alike, and as a politician's wife, she has learned to close one eye. Sometimes I feel sorry for her. I think it was because of Trisha that she didn't leave me. She's a good wife and a good mother. I'm grateful for that. Boring. But yeah, like for example, if there's like a lot of noise in your home, if you wore, for example, earphones on your, and you connected it to your phone, and you had like a white noise or pink noise, preferably in my case, playing, you can use it to actually drown out the inconsistent noise with the consistent noise, and the brain can tune out the consistent noise. It's basically like canceling out noise in a sense. I also use pink noise when I'm calibrating like my sound system. Get each speaker to the correct levels, and then I measure the decibel range at wherever it is I'm trying to calibrate the volume levels to. Ew. None of this art is great, but at the same time, the fact none of it seems to be like that stock Unity stuff, that's a big plus. Terrible. Should we go upstairs, or was there more down here for me to explore? Got another set of staircases there and there. I want to go up the creepy one. I mean, if I got the choice, like, I'd rather go up the dark, ominous fucking staircase with no lights. I mean, look at that. Like, is that not inviting? That is much cooler. No, it's just an exercise room. Got more lockers. Oh wait, this almost looks like a physical therapy room, not a gym. Did they have like a physical therapy room set up? Because like just from the handlebars, these are usually used for people during recovery. I mean, it even has a freaking chart here with shifts. Bernard, Derek, Bernard, Trisha, and this is all probably going to come into play later when we're trying to figure out like the murder, the motives, and all that stuff. So there's Vivian, Trisha, Derek, Charles, and Bernard. And I presume we don't have the key. Oh. Okay then. I thought it was like the hospital where they were all locked. Mystery key. That's Bernard. Derek. Trisha. Vivian. So only Bernard's locker had something, and it was a key. A key to what? I don't know. I don't, off the top of my head, remember anyone talking about any of it in like a note. But I could be wrong. I've There's way too many names. I've forgotten everything. Yeah, and the reason I like pink noise more than white is, like, it has less, like, a high-pitched sound to it. Like, and it achieves the same canceling effect at a lower volume decibel. The clock is broken. Awesome. Looks like the clock is broken and it stopped at 10:35-ish. Okay, that's not going to be relevant to anything. It's locked. Let me test this key. Oh man, we got two different keys. That's a mansion key. I forgot we had that. Okay, that didn't help. I forgot we did have some kind of mansion room key. Oh my god, my voice is so dying. I don't know how much longer I'll last today. Feels like my throat's a little swollen. I forgot to return the servant room's key in time, so I left the key in the kitchen drawer. That's the key that we got right now. So that was a hint. If we hadn't found the key, we wouldn't have been completely lost. And like, what fucking pixel did I forget to click on somewhere? So this is the servant room, huh? Servants get a fucking TV with... I remember getting this back when... I think it was the Xbox. Was it? No, it might have been like the Sega Gen... Yeah, it was like when I had a Sega Genesis and like those kind of consoles. I remember having something like this, and it was like a 13-inch TV, and I got to keep it in my room, and it was so fucking cool. No, PlayStation, that's what I had. It was the original PlayStation. I was so happy to have that thing too. Oh boy. There's a lot of reading in this, isn't there? Alright, this is 1995. I was cleaning the mansion attic today when I found Derek and Wanda's old stuff. I asked Derek about it, and he told me he used to live here with his mom until he was about 6 years old. We chatted for like an hour. I have never talked to him that much. It felt quite nice talking with him, rather relaxing. I had to interact with Bernard today. His left wrist was swollen pretty badly. When I asked what happened, he claimed he fell during rock climbing and twisted his left hand, so he can't help with writing the Easter invitations this year. I was gonna totally love to help you write those invitations, but I twisted my left hand. I'm right-handed, but I can't, man. I told him he only needs his right hand for writing. Like, no. He looked at me as if I was joking. How could I have known that he was left-handed? Yeah, the right hand's for fapping. Unless you have computer like if it's the computer generation, it goes the other way. But everyone gets used to using the mouse with the right hand. And sorry, Dorothy asked me to help clean her house tomorrow. I didn't know she has her own place. I thought she lived with the Roberts family in the nanny's room. She said she hasn't used the house for the past few months, but it needs to be taken care of every now and then. She will be 60 this year. I think I should help her. P.S. The address is 40 Black Pine Road. So Dorothy's house is 40 Black Pine. That might be useful to remember. Trisha and Vivian had an argument during dinner. Vivian is thinking to send Trisha to college, but Trisha wants to be with Scott. She's not thinking straight. Have to use left hand because right on the mouse. Yep, there you go. That's exactly it. A whole new age of left-handers, so to speak. Thanks to computers. Still can't write with our left hand for shit, but... I was about to clean the gallery when I noticed the door was already slightly open. I looked inside and saw Mr. Roberts standing in front of a painting. Right before he left, I heard a faint click. As he was leaving the gallery, I hid in the staircase hallway. When I was sure that he was gone, I went into the gallery to see what he was so entranced by. There was a click in the gallery, though. There must be a hidden passage or a switch. It's just a painting of an old woman with a white headband. I wonder what's so interesting about this lady. Alright, well, now we know where we want to go and investigate. Eventually, there will be a grand party to celebrate Trisha's birthday this evening. She will be officially 21 years old. We're going to get her shit-faced, and she's going to probably end up in the hospital. Trisha and Scott are meeting at the shed behind the mansion. Yes, that shed was locked. They called it their secret hideout. I know Vivian doesn't want Trish to be with Scott. Should I tell her about this? Dr. Johnson is dead. He was the head of Painscreek Community Hospital as well as the Roberts family doctor. The police came by and asked if Vivian would be willing to go down to the station for another interview. I was nervous, but Vivian was very calm and accepted their request. She came back in the evening and assured us that everything was okay. She had nothing to do with Dr. Johnson's death. His death was purely an accident. Oops. So that gave us a couple potential interesting bits of information. One big one being the gallery thing, and the other being an address to Dorothy's place. That is kind of a tiny bed, isn't it? Like, short, rather. Like, if I tried to sleep on that, my feet would be, like, up on this banister and fucking... Oh my god, that would suck. I'd have to, like, stick my feet through the holes here, and then if you want to turn around and lay on your stomach, that would suck. Your feet would be all twisted up and shit. Oh my god, my voice can't handle much more of this right now. I was cleaning Mrs. Roberts' tea room when I stumbled across a pile of letters full of negative comments addressed to her. Why on earth does she keep those letters? She, more than anybody in this town, doesn't deserve to be attacked by these faceless cowards. These people cannot see the positive impact she has made for this community. It's not her fault that her business deals can't please everyone. I'm assuming the business deal in reference relates to the hospital thing. There was a thing about the hospital in a news article. Oops, the hospital thing here that we were reading about. I saw the need to revamp the hospital in the 70s. She founded a really foundation with the main purpose to support the needs of the village, and that must be related to that someone in someone's thing. I don't know. So I guess Mrs. Roberts is getting a lot of flack for something that she made a decision in. Let's end this episode right here.